If you want to check out different content from myself, I've just set up a second channel where I'm going to post fitness and things. The link for that will be in the description. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? Tim here. Welcome back to another trailer reaction. This time it's going to be career mode. Now, a lot of you might be wondering why I care about career mode. Am I just doing it because there's nothing else to do? I've actually started a career mode with Norwich. We are 11 episodes in. It was meant to go out this morning as well, but I had some editing problems. It will be out tomorrow for those wondering. Tomorrow morning, every morning up until the launch of FIFA 21, basically, we'll be doing a career mode. And it's always been a game mode that I've been really interested in. I've really enjoyed it. The problem for me personally with career mode is Football Manager is so much better because it's so much more in depth and you can actually be a manager, as opposed to FIFA career mode, where it gets very repetitive very quickly and sometimes you just don't want to play the game, so you sim it. The sim is awful. It's one button, job done. You couldn't make subs in it. You can't jump in and help out. You can't make tactical changes or anything like that. They have already announced, of course, that now you can. We're about to see the trailer. I'm not expecting to see anything extra on top of what the announcement already was. We'll have a look at the trailer and we'll have a look at the deep dive as well. So let's get into it now and find out what it's all about, I guess.
Manage every moment in FIFA 21 career mode with a new interactive match sim, more control over training and developing your squad, and more ways to sign players on the transfer market.
This is exactly what not Football Manager, well, it is what Football Manager has, but it's exactly what FIFA has needed since the dawn of time. More ways to sign players. And I'm going to compare this to Football Manager constantly. And the reason for that is because that is what career mode, in my opinion, has to live up to. So you now have the option to go in for a loan for a player and to offer an option to buy at the end of that loan. So, for example, Chelsea have come in here for Liverpool's Harvey Elliott, and they've said, look, I want to loan him, and then I want to be able to buy him at the end of the loan if I want to. You know, if I want to exercise the option, I can buy him. And that's just something, it's so simple. And something that I think FIFA's needed for a while. The whole sim thing, they're starting with that. That's their brand new feature. They did also say that there's new ways of doing training. I never really bother with training in career mode. I set it up and I do it like I simulate it because I can't be bothered to go in and actually do it. But if they have a new way of doing it and it's new and it's exciting, it's interesting, it's in depth, then I'll be more than happy to use it.
Ready for a whole new way to play out your career? The brand new interactive match sim gives you full control when simming matches. Jump in and out of the action when you decide to change the course of the game.
Now that is something that I've wanted for so long, and it's something that I'm tempted to base my career mode, or one of my career mode series around in FIFA 21. Basically, what he said then is you can jump in and jump out of a game when you're in career mode via the sim as often as you want. So my thought process behind this was, what if I did a set piece career mode? So every time we've got a free kick or there's a penalty, maybe even a corner, because technically speaking that is a set piece, jump in, take the free kick, take the penalty, take the corner, try and score from that, and literally just play the entire career mode jumping in when you take set pieces and then jumping out until we get another set piece. That is something that I've been tempted to do. But even if you don't want to do and base the entire series around it, you could literally just jump in every time there's an opportunity like that. And I like that idea. And of course, when you're bored and you're thinking, do you know what, I can't be bothered anymore, I'm just going to jump out and let my team play on. That is something that I've been waiting for ages. The sim in FIFA career mode has been horrendous for forever.
Or take charge for key moments to dominate the moments that
There we go.
Keep an eye on match stats and player performance levels, and make subs or tactical changes.
And that is another thing that you could never do, of course, as well. Now, first glance at some player ratings there. I wouldn't take them as gospel, but it is interesting that Marcelo is down like a -2. I would ignore it for the most part. They're never really that accurate. But either way, It could, yeah, see, it can't be, because Benzema would be an 82 rated player. If they do that to him in real life, then there are issues. But either way, that aside, making subs, even if you don't want to jump in at all, making subs is such a big thing in real world football. Even in Ultimate Team now, it's become a massive thing. We never used to really make that many subs. Now we do. And it's the same with career mode. That's been the problem with the sim.
On the fly to influence the outcome of the match. A new player growth system puts you in charge of your squad's development. Spotted a gap in your team? Turn Marauder.
Did that just allow me to switch positions as well? Let's go back a little bit here. So, growth position. So, we can teach Trent how to play in a different position. And obviously that's going to be the same for every player. My face is blocking it a little bit, but he's selected defensive wide back. There is inverted wide back, attacking wide back, and balanced. I'm guessing you can then teach him how to play any sort of one of those things, and then you can have a look to see what stat it affects, which is pretty nice. So a far better growth system than what they've had before.
Development. Spotted a gap in your team? Turn marauding fullbacks into wingers and goal-scoring midfielders.
That was even, I mean, you could go down again there. There we go. You can literally turn Trent into a right wing, a striker, a centre forward. You can train him to play any position on the pitch, which is fantastic. Now, obviously, with Trent, you probably wouldn't want to do that. Maybe you want to turn him into a midfielder further along down his career or something. But either way, the beautiful thing about this is if you have a youngster and he's come out as a right back, but you'd prefer him to be a centre back, you can actually train him to be a centre back. And then up here, you can see the right wing conversion time. Now, the ETA, which is estimated time of arrival, is 81 weeks. So if you put him on right wing training, it would take 81 weeks for him to be a fully fledged, accomplished right wing. I'm sure there's ways for you to be able to speed that up if you do the training personally. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. But either way, this is brilliant. This is all really good stuff.
In midfielders into false nines with new position training. And new development plans give you control over each player's growth to help you build your squad's attributes to match your style of play.
Okay.
Manage your team schedule and train multiple players at the same time with a new activity management system. Choose when to rest and when to train throughout.
Right, so this is completely brand new, and this is very FM-esque. And the difference between this and FM, of course, is you can actually take training yourself. You can go in and you can train the players. In previous versions of FIFA, you could only train, what was it, like 5 players at a time? And generally it was pointless training older players. You only really ever trained your youth players to sort of build them up. Now it seems that you build them up for fitness, for sharpness, for morale, and all the rest of it as well. And you can select which days they have rest days and which days they have training. It's going to be a lot more in depth. I'm guessing you can leave this to your assistant if you really want to. I'm pretty sure you'd be able to just set like there's bound to be like a preset plan and you can skip it. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. But this is something that I'm really interested in. It could add another, well, it will. It'll add another dynamic, I guess, to career mode.
Throughout the week, as you balance your players' morale and fitness with match sharpness. A new stat that shows you how likely players are to perform at their...
And I know I keep pausing it, but if you want to watch it in its entirety, then go over to the EA Sports YouTube channel. But this is, again, very FM-esque. They have match sharpness. They have match sharpness, they have match fitness. So it's basically the same thing. EA have literally gone and played Football Manager during lockdown and gone, hey, we need, like, all of this. So fitness and match sharpness, 2 completely different things. And obviously fitness is how... like fit they are, right? And then match sharpness is how effective they will be on the pitch. So the fact that they have that there is because obviously maybe Foden has just come back, or whoever they've selected, I'm guessing it's Foden, he's just come back from injury, for example, so his fitness is going to be high up there because it's been a while since he's played, he's been recovering and all the rest of it, but his match sharpness is low because he hasn't had real like game time and obviously hasn't trained much maybe, so that could be a thing. And of course morale is going to come into question as well, so I really like that a lot.
Peak. Then boost it with group training sessions, monitor your players' progression and find that sweet spot with fitness and morale to keep your team firing on all cylinders.
I like it.
Whether you're all about the Galacticos or the hunt for the brightest young prospects, new options give you more ways to transfer players and a more realistic transfer market in FIFA 21. Sign players on loan-to-buy deals and negotiate player swap offers with other managers to bolster your squad each transfer window.
What did Pep say to him then? Let's discuss alternative options. To let Zinchenko go, we want 6.8, and we'd also want to sign Zuma. So they come back and they put the player in. So whereas normally, that's where I'm getting. That might not be right, but what would normally happen in a transfer is you go in and you say, look, I want to swap a player. They normally come back with one of two lines. Either is, yeah, we'd be happy to do a player swap, but we don't want that. We're looking for either a left back or a striker or whatever. Or they say, yeah, we'll take Zuma as part of the deal, but we also want money on top of that. But it looks like the opposing manager could come back and say, yeah, we're happy with 10 million so long as you throw in Zuma as well or something. That's kind of cool. I like that.
To bolster your squad each transfer window.
And the loan to buy as well, obviously, is brilliant.
Overhauled opposition AI gives you a more intelligent opponent to play against in every match you play. New tackling, player switching, and marking logic makes opposition defences harder to break down. And at the other end of the pitch, more intelligent attackers have a stronger understanding of dribbling and passing to keep you on your toes from game to game. With new ways to train, play, and make transfers, manage every moment of your career in FIFA 21.
So there's nothing new there than what was already announced. It's just wrapped into a nice trailer, and I like it. It's good. The whole dynamic AI thing may be frustrating to play against, but it will be a lot closer to how the top end players will play online. So if you're just a pure career mode player, maybe you're used to playing on legendary, maybe you'll have to put it down onto world class now, unless you want to get beaten every game or something. I don't know, but it does look like the AI are a lot better than what they used to be. Time will tell. I'm going to go over to Twitter now and have a look at the deep dive. Now I can't imagine there's going to be anything in here that we haven't already read. We'll have a look at the sort of overview. So the we can have a look at the things I'm interested in. I won't go through all of it because I'm not really, like, I am interested in things like player sharpness and the player feedback system, schedule planning, new transfers and options, all that stuff, broadcast and additional improvements and things like that. We'll have a look at additional improvements. The broadcast improvements I'm not too concerned about. It's all interesting stuff and I do want to read it, but the things I'm really interested in is the sim side of things, and maybe player development as well as looking at that additional stuff. So let's scroll down here to the interactive match sim, because this is something that I think is a bit of a game changer for me personally, because when you play career mode, it's all really about playing the game. Simming the games just doesn't have any enjoyment whatsoever. This is different, because this is like a top-down 2D thing. You can watch the entire game play out. I'm not sure if it goes at a certain pace and whether you can change the speed of the game, but either way, when you watch it, you'll be able to watch the whole game in this top-down 2D mode. I actually play Football Manager like this. I don't play it 3D because I'm old school, I guess, and that's how I've always done it, so I play top-down. So this is going to be very Football Manager-esque, and the reason I keep bringing it back to that is because Football Manager is so good, but you now have the option of actually doing a lot of what you can in Football Manager now in FIFA, but you can also play the game as well. Now, I'm not saying that this is even going to come close to Football Manager, because I still think Football Manager is going to blow FIFA out of the water for this kind of stuff, but let's read. We know that some managers want to be in control of everything. Small decisions can define important moments, decide titles, and create champions. But not all moments share the same intensity, so enabling players to choose their level of control has been a big focus for us this year. Interactive Match Sim is a new way to experience matches in career mode. You can now take a step back from the traditional gameplay and focus on the bigger picture. Interactive Match Sim enables managers to adopt a more tactical and faster pace approach to matches, making all important decisions from the touchline and watching their impact on the pitch from a top-down view, which is nice. So I'm going to disregard this. Let me go and read the instantly jump in or out. So it literally brings you in the exact moment you say, I want into the game. So you can see here on the map, we're into a good position, jump in, and it'll count you down as if you just press pause, and he's in on goal. You take a shot, you miss it because you're crap, and then you just jump back out again, and you can carry on watching from that top down. That is fantastic. I am a huge fan of that. So it says, allows you to jump straight into the action at any given moment, giving you a traditional gameplay experience, which is nice. This is something else. What the hell is this? Oh, there we go. So, so you can end it. You don't have to sit there and watch the whole thing. You can just jump to the end and go straight to the result, which is nice. Whether you only like to intervene when your team goes down, or you prefer to jump in whenever your team is within shooting range, the interactive match sim allows players to experience matches exactly how they want to. You can also jump back out of gameplay and watch the rest of the game play out in interactive match sim, or skip straight to the final result. That is brilliant. So if you're not interested in any of this stuff and you just want to sim like you normally did, you can. You just have to press like one extra button. Not a problem at all. Both jumping in and out of the game and jumping to the end result are accessible at any point during the match, regardless of whether the match started at a regular gameplay or in sim mode, which is brilliant. Wait, hang on a minute, what? So if you're... Oh, that's even better again, you know? So if you... my understanding of it, right, and this is something that I didn't even consider. If you go into a game, say I'm Liverpool and I've gone into a game against Real Madrid there, right? I start the game, I'm playing. I'm not in sim, I go in and I play. From what I gather, you can jump into sim mode whenever you want. So if I'm half time and I'm 3-0 up and I'm like, do you know what, can't be bothered anymore, I'll jump back into sim mode. I can just watch it play out in sim, and I can watch some TV on the side and drink my Bacardi Breezer because I'm a really cool dude. That's what it sounds like. Both jumping in and out of the game and jumping to the end result are accessible at any point during the match, regardless of whether the match started as a regular gameplay or in sim mode. I'm in love. I really am. It's so simple, but I really do like it. Whenever you're inside the interactive match sim, you see the players attempt to implement your game plans and have all the tools needed to recognize them on the fly if needed. Reorganize, not recognize. So if you want to change your game tactics in the middle of a game, you can, and the AI that are controlling your team for you will essentially look to implement what you're telling them, which is nice. You can see the fitness and the player ratings and everything, so you can see how well they're doing, how bad they're doing. You can sub off players who are not fit or not doing very well, which is nice. Also features audio commentary and stadium atmosphere throughout the match. That's brilliant. That is really good. I'm not sure how they're going to do that, but that is really good. New match launcher. So you can launch each match with one of 3 options. So you can play it, sim it, or quick sim. So there we go. I tell you what, this is so... I know career mode people are probably going to want more than what they're offering here, but for me, a returning player who hasn't played career mode properly for maybe 2 or 3 years, coming back to this now, there's enough there for me to warrant coming back and actually wanting to play. Why is kickoff 5 to 7? That is weird. Anyway, yeah, so you can play the match and then jump in and out as many times as you want, sim the match and do exactly the same, or quick sim, which will give you the end result straight away, which is fantastic. Player development. So I'm just going to come down to the bullet points here, because it looks like you can improve their skill moves and their weak foot ratings, especially for attacking players. So if you put them through their paces, they can change their work rates, which is brilliant. They can change the skill moves and their weak foot. You can improve major attributes and so attributes that fuel specialization attributes. So basically, I'm guessing that kind of means traits to a certain extent. Which is awesome. Right, yeah. So here we go. This is classic EA. Much like in real life football, not really. The speed at which players develop depends on their age. Well, kind of, but no at the same time. Like Jamie Vardy, for example, wasn't a not world-renowned name, but he wasn't one of the best Premier League strikers until he was really old. You know, like 28, 29 is when he started actually banging them in. So it's highly unlikely that it's not often that happens, but it does happen, you know. So, give a young player with great potential a few games and help him perform, and he will turn into a better player at an accelerated rate. Keep him on the sidelines for too long, and he can have the opposite effect. So it's up to you to make the decisions that work best for your team, which is good. Player position conversion. We've already been through it in the trailer. We know how that works. New active training. This all looks pretty decent. Again, let's just go through the bullet points here. So, each training day will feature 3 distinct training session slots, each focusing on specific training, drill, and specific players. So you can have, you can set up a defensive one, which obviously will help your defenders. Hot potato is basically like passing as quickly as you can, so that's going to help your midfielders. And then inside of the zone dribbling, so obviously you're going to help your attackers get better dribbling and get into the penalty area and such. So you can set up, I'm guessing you can set them up however you want. You can play it, you can sim like you used to be able to. Multiple players can now participate in each drill depending on the drill type, allowing you to involve up to 15 players in each training day, which is brilliant. Every session consists of diverse drills and various scenarios focused on improving a specific area of the game: defense, passing, dribbling, shooting, or set pieces, which is nice. Training days will always be pre-populated with the appropriate drills and players based on the active team sheet, but you can always take control and edit them. So this is something that I was always concerned about. Not concerned, but I was thinking about. So they're always populated with the players who you select in your team. So if you've put out an 11 and you've got your subs, the game will automatically get those players, put them into training so that they are match sharp, their morale goes up, and they're fit, ready for your next game. So you're basically going to have to be rotating quite often if you don't really want to be doing this training malarkey. If you rotate your squad quite often, the game will automatically update and rotate the training. But you can also jump in and change players as and when you want if you're into that sort of thing, which I definitely am. Changing your active team sheet will also give you the ability to instantly update the drill and player section of your training day. I just basically said that without even reading it because I'm a genius. Let's talk more about this, more specific on this topic. Okay. I'm saying a lot, I apologise. Depending on difficulty, training drills consume different levels of fitness. So this is something that I think will be a bit of a learning curve. You're going to have to sit there and look at the amount of fitness your players have, the amount of days you have left for the next game. I'm guessing it will tell you whether your players will be fit for the next game or not, but that is going to be something you're going to have to get used to. If you leave it to the AI, I would have thought that they would allow them to do the amount that they can do before they can be fit for the next game, if that makes sense. Getting the highest grade either by playing or simulating a drill will maximize the sharpness output. Fitness cost will be the same regardless of the drill result. The more difficult, which is a bit silly really, because if you're not putting that much effort in, you're not really using that much energy. Interesting. The more difficult drills are obviously more challenging and will require more skills to obtain a high grade. This introduces an element of choice. Do I want to play it safe and engage in an easy drill that I can ace and get maximum sharpness from it, or risk playing a more difficult drill or an even bigger boost should I manage to get a higher grade? So there we go. I like it all, I really do. Now, I'm not going to read on through that because player sharpness isn't necessarily something that I think needs an awful lot of explaining. We'll just read these bullet points. Points, not points. Sharpness at 50 means the player is at average sharpness. They will not receive a boost, nor will they incur a penalty on attributes. Think of 50 as the baseline. Sharpness between 50 and 100 means the player sharpness. Right, okay, so without even reading that and taking this into consideration, that image we saw of like +4, -4 and all the rest of it, that wasn't what they'd gained throughout their career, or they lost throughout their career. So Marcelo, for example, was an 83 and it said -2. So normally Marcelo's an 85, which is what he is in FIFA 20. In that situation, his match sharpness was probably under 50. So it says match sharpness between 0 and 50 means that the player is below average sharpness and his attributes will be reduced. So that's exactly what this means here. Now the image is very small, but for example, Bernat there is a +5, meaning he, of course, he's proper match sharp. So your players are going to be better the sort of sharper they are. So you're really going to have to take control of training and make sure that you are on top of that if you want your players to have the maximum boosts, which I think is a really nice addition. I like that a lot. Big fan. And there we go. Yeah, see? So should sharpness reach 0, the striker's skills would be reduced. And there we go. So it's going to be the same for every position, every player. It's going to affect them differently. New player feedback system. It's kind of self-explanatory stuff there. Team schedule planning, which with rest days and things we've already seen in the trailer. And you can sort that out via calendar and thing. We've obviously seen the new transfer options, which is really good. All player swap proposals, contract renewal improvements, and loan to buy. There are definitely even more they could add, maybe next year. They've made a real effort with career mode this season by the looks of things. I know a lot of people who play career mode heavily might not think that this is a big step. For me though, personally, I like it, and it makes me want to play it even more. Because I was going to play it anyway, regardless of these, but now that we have all these options, I'm definitely more into it. So, these are the additional improvements. Now, of course, we already know about match day. You can play it, you can sim it, jump in and out. You can do it with both of those, or you can get the end result straight away. Expanding competition user interface. So now all of those have unique UI branding when you load into a game for the first time. Press conference, morale, player morale, establish youth academy. Right, so when you take on manager of a club, you no longer have to start setting up a youth academy by yourself. The club will already have a youth scout hired and a number of players already recruited into the youth academy, which is brilliant because I'm reluctant to do that right now because I can't afford to do it. But if the club have already set it up, then it's not going to feel like I'm spending money on it. The number of varies based on the importance of the youth development rating, and there's also a chance that one of those players is going to have a potential is become one of the world's best. Yeah, there you go. Homegrown talent. If you pre-order or purchase the Champions or Ultimate Edition of FIFA 21, you will be entitled to a homegrown talent player. So basically, you're going to get like your very own Trent or whatever it may be. You know, someone who's from the city of the club that you take over. He'll have a high potential. You can build him up, and you know he's going to be good. Within the setup of a new career mode save, you can set the amount of cash you want your club to receive as part of a financial takeover. Whether you want to give your club a whopping 500 million or start with next to nothing, you can customize your experience how you want. That is mad. I know you can. I think you could, like before, you could set like with a bonus, but not 500 million. That's just a ridiculous amount. How many people are going to do that, I wonder? So there's quite a few more points in here. There's a lot, and there's broadcasting improvements as well, which is really good. They seem to, I mean, that deep dive is so much bigger than any other deep dive that we've had, including Ultimate Team. They've put, in my opinion, they seem to have put a lot of effort into career mode this year, which is good. I like it. Like I said, I was always going to do a career mode anyway, but now that we have, like this is the biggest thing for me. I love it. That's going to do it. That was a long video. I apologize for those who didn't want me to talk that long and those who don't really care about it, but I am genuinely really interested about career mode now, and I cannot wait to start on October the 1st. I will get that video done probably after the first Road to Glory episode, but still, it will be on the same day. 1st of October. I haven't decided on the team yet, but I will get it done. We'll get it out every single morning, 8 a.m. from the very beginning of the game until we are Champions League champions with whichever club we choose, and then we'll maybe start again. Looking forward to it. Let me know what you think of the changes in the comment section, especially if you are a career mode player yourself. If you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.